Well, the big man on campus has spoken about Daredevil Born Again, and it's not Kevin Feige. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about Foggy and Karen and what big personality has recently chimed in on their status and future in the MCU and the world of Daredevil's new series. Quite honestly, seems like good news to me. Well, recently we had a story that Nelson and Murdoch were no more inside the MCU and that Matt Murdock will have a new law firm called Murdoch & Associates. Now, this has a lot of fans pretty upset because many of us, myself included, wanted to see Foggy Nelson and Karen Page return for this series because they were absolutely pivotal to the original show. This has been an ongoing debate online, and despite rumors that Elden Henson's Foggy Nelson could appear, we really haven't gotten any confirmation. Now, a lot of people have been discussing this on social media, and there was a discussion on Twitter where someone actually tagged Vincent D'Onofrio. And in their tweet, they said, "No Karen, no Foggy, no thanks." Now, a lot of us have the same sentiment, and we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But one person who does is Vincent D'Onofrio, and his response is telling. Now, he didn't really give anything away, but two simple words do tell a very interesting tale. In response to the "No Karen, no Foggy, no thanks" tweet, he responded, "Patience, patience." Now, this clearly tells me that fans need to hold on and be patient because he wouldn't be mentioning this if there weren't plans for the characters. Now, we've discussed this a couple times on this channel, and I think there's great reasons why Foggy and Karen are not part of the show. Now, we don't know what happened during the blip, but the general consensus is that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin consolidated his power and reestablished himself in the MCU during this phase where a lot of the world was blipped out. And I believe one of those people that was probably blipped out was Matt Murdock. Without Matt Murdock to stand there against the rise of Wilson Fisk, well, it would be much easier for the Kingpin to reestablish himself, only to see Daredevil return 5 years later. Now, this suggests to me that Karen Page and Foggy Nelson might not have been blipped out, meaning they were left in a world without Matt Murdock, and potentially it impacted their greater families. Remember, we got to know Foggy's family quite a bit in that final season, and it seems to me very likely that several of his family members were blipped out, and he probably went back to either take care of his mother and potentially run the butcher shop. Now, as for Karen Page, her home life was obviously always a mess, but there also is a distinct possibility she also returned home or went on to establish new relationships once Foggy left the firm, and she probably wouldn't have even had time to complete law school, meaning she was kind of out in the cold. Now, I appreciate this update from Vincent because it's exactly what many of us wanted to hear. I do believe Foggy and Karen need to be part of the show, but adding a story thread where they were somehow displaced by the blip and having them eventually reunite with Matt, well, that could be nothing but a good thing. And who knows, we could end season 1 of Daredevil Born Again with the rebirth of Nelson, Murdock, and Page. But we're gonna have to wait and see.